Good morning to all the faculty members. Good morning to everyone. We are about to start the session at 10:30. Our eminent resource person has still not joined. Once he joins, we will start the session. Good morning to one and all present here. And thank you so much for joining this faculty development program. I'm really grateful to all of you for extending support and taking out time to attend this faculty development program. This program is designed in a way that you will feel the transformation after 7 days in your life, like you would be a changed person because the thoughts of these eminent resource persons will definitely influence our life, our way of thinking. So that's going to help us for progression in our professional as well as personal life. So good morning to all of you. Just I'm waiting for the resource person to join, and once he joins, we will start this session. I hope I am audible.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. You are audible.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning, sir. Good morning. Yes, sir. Am I audible to you?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. Just you can check the connectivity, sir. Like from this end, everything is fine. You are visible as well as audible.
How I will share my this PPT?
So through share screen and then entire screen. Go to share screen. I have made you the co-host. Yes. Yes, sir. Your screen is visible.
Is it visible?
Yes, sir. We could see your screen.
Okay. Is it okay?
Yes, sir. It's visible. It's absolutely.
யார் ஸ்ட்ரிக்டா இருக்கா? அதனால தான் அவருக்கு அந்த பதவி கொடுத்திருக்காங்க.
Content is visible?
Yes, sir.
ஆனா அவர் மட்டும் லீவ் அப்ளை பண்ணிட்டாரு தெரியுமா? இந்த டேட்டா வைக்காம கேளுங்க.
Please keep yourself on mute mode. I request the participants to keep yourself muted. Good morning, dear all faculty members. I welcome you all on the second day of Faculty Development Program. The eminent speaker for this session is Professor Dr. N.P. Kaushik, Vice Chancellor, Om Sterling Global University, Hisar, and former Vice Chancellor of Rajasthan Technical University, Kota. Sir, first of all, I would like to welcome you and extend my heartfelt thanks for accepting our invitation and taking out your valuable time to share your thoughts with us. Thank you and welcome, sir. Dear all faculty members, let me introduce you all to Professor Dr. N.P. Koshiki. Professor Dr. N.P. Kaushik is a man of distinct vision and a fountainhead of illuminating ideas, an idol of knowledge, experience, and inspiration. He is an IIT alumni. He completed his MTech from IIT Delhi and then PhD from IIT Roorkee. He has 36 years long working experience in academics, where he has served prestigious universities like Rajasthan Technical University as Vice Chancellor. His most accomplished post was to work as a coordinator of Pradhan Mantri Sadak Yojana for about 8 years. In his career, he is awarded by several awards like Education Excellence Award, Lifetime Achievement Award, Institute of Engineers, Pride of Rajasthan Award, Shiksha Ratan, Fellow of Institution of Engineers, etc. And the list is long. He is also a life member of IST, IGS, ISCM. Sir, we are really fortunate to have you with us here as an expert resource person. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Over to you, Professor Dr. N.P. Kaushik.
Thank you, Dr. Mukesh. It is my great pleasure to interact with the faculty of University of Engineering and Management. Good morning to each and everyone in this session. I am thankful to Dr. Mukesh as well as the management of Engineering and Management for providing this opportunity to me to interact with you all. The topic of today's deliberation is moral and ethical responsibilities of teachers in shaping the character and personality of the students. So we all know that this is the prime duty of the teachers, that they should be able to build the character and good personality of their students. So, and this is the eternal truth also, that gurus always used to make good human beings and good persons in the society to their students. We can have many examples for this thing. So in this lecture, actually, we will be discussing that what are the moral values and ethics, why these are need to be taught to the students, what is the ethical responsibilities of teachers, and what the life says to us, and a few things more we will be going to discuss in this lecture. And you will find that for shaping the character and personality of students, first we are required to know all these things, and we have to adopt them. Then only we can inculcate these things into the students. So first we will try to know these things. The moral values, ethics, and integrity. These are not 3 words only, but these are ideal ways of life for building a good and character. Whether one is a teacher or a student, or is having in the life. So these 3 words, that is moral, values, ethics, and integrity, these are very important in the life of the person, and these are helpful in building the good personality and character. A person who makes the moral values as a part of his routine life, follows ethics in his professional life, and bears the integrity to the organization can be defined as a good personality and man of values. We usually use this word that that person is a man of values, man of character, good person, etc. So it means that he is having the combinations of these characteristics. That is, he is having values, ethics, and integrity. Our aim is also to produce the students who bears a good knowledge and personality with moral values and good character. So a good student or a good graduate can only be the one who is having the knowledge. That is, we are imparting the knowledge also, and along with the knowledge, we are inculcating these things into the student, and we are making a good personality of the students and good characters of the students. Now we will try to see what we mean by ethics and what we mean by integrity and what we mean by values. So actually, ethics are these set of rules. These can be for a group of humans, it can be for a particular organization, it can be for a class, or it can be for a culture. So these are some set of rules which operates within the group. So, or we can say define these rules are set of rules in which human beings are expected to behave when he is playing a role of professional. So if we using this word with the professional, then we call it the professional ethics. The ethics are governed by professional and legal guidelines within a particular time, place, and organization. And you will find that as we define that it is related to a group or class or profession, then we can see that the for ethics can be for teaching, ethics can be for the law, ethics can be for the medical, and these can be for the industrial persons also. And we will find that these set of rules are not same for these groups. There may be different set of rules for the teaching class. There may be different set of rules for the lawyers, and there may be different set of rules for the medical professionals. Because as these professions are changing, therefore these ethical rules are also changing according to their roles. Many times the rules of ethics may conflict with the moral values. This is a very important thing we can see in our day-to-day life also. I will give you one or two examples also. Ethics of a liar is to safeguard the interest of his client. So this is the ethical rule of a lawyer, that he or she has to safeguard the interest of the client who is coming to them. And he may support a criminal knowingly, unknowingly. Let us suppose that some person who is involved in some murder case, it is not known whether really one has done the murder or not, but if he comes to the lawyer, he will try to safeguard him, and the first step is to get the bail. So definitely the lawyer will try his hard to get the bail for the person. But if the person is criminal and he has done the offense, then it is against the moral values. So this is how the moral and ethics are conflicting to each other. The second thing that we always see advertisement in TV or even print media, and we know that in these advertisements, the image is so enhanced that consumer assumes that that is the best product, or it is posed as the best product, because it is the ethical rule regarding the advertisement and contract. But majority of the times, these products do not fall to that quality. So here also you can see that the ethics and morals are conflicting to each other. And there can be many such examples. But the moral values are always universal. They do not change their meaning with time, place, person, or organization. So if we are having the good moral values, so they will never change, whether we are in a profession of teaching or lawyer or medicines, any professions, but the values do not change. Morals do not change. Now, integrity. So actually it is the loyalty or trustworthiness of a person to his, it may be with the organization, it may be with the persons to whom with he is working, it may be the stakeholders, or it may be even the group in which we are living. So, and this is a very important aspect as far as recruitment in different organizations is concerned. So a most intelligent and most efficient employee of any organization, if has no integrity to the organization, he will be most dangerous person for the organization. So integrity is very important. And therefore it is important for the recruiters that they should judge the professional ability of the person as well as the integrity. I can give you one example. Most of you might have seen the picture Trishul, and in that picture there were two leading actors, Sanjeev Kumar and Amitabh Bachchan. And both were in the profession of building. They were good builders. And if you remember, the tender of the big work, that is construction work, was changed only because of changing the price by 1 rupees. So in this, one of the employees was contacted, and the inside things of the other company were obtained, and he might have been given some bribe, etc. also, or he might have been given some benefit also, and the tender was got in favor. So you can see that he was efficient person, but he gave the inside story of the company to other company. So he lose the integrity to the company. He do not remain loyal to the company. And it gives the loss of crores of rupees. So this is one example where integrity plays a very important role, and it can be in any position. It can be even in the teaching profession also. That person should be loyal and integral to the organization. Now, let us see that why we need to teach the values in education. Here, I would like to give the reference that in year 2018, ICT introduced the human values, universal human values, as a subject throughout the country in engineering courses. And now the University Grant Commission is also making efforts that this subject, that is universal human values, should be included in the all courses of all programs. And we can see that the two apex bodies of education, AICT, which is responsible for the technical and professional education, and UGC, which is responsible for the general education in the country, they are trying to include this subject in the curriculum. And definitely at the apex, it might have felt that this is very much necessary, that our students should be taught this subject so that a good character and personality can be built. So these are some of the reasons which are written here, that why we should teach values in education. Society is losing faith in moral and ethical values. This is the thing which we can see in our everyday life. We can see in newspapers, we can see in TV media and other social media, that these things are being lost. Then materialistic lusts are at their height. This is also very common, that now each and everyone want to get more and more money and assets and the materialistic things. For example, we can say that if someone has got the bike, he would like to purchase a car, that is four-wheeler. If someone is having a four-wheeler and that is of low range, then he would like to purchase the higher level of the vehicle. Similarly, everyone tries to get and collect these materialistic things. So this is also making a problem in the society. And man has become money-making machines. If we see in our society also, then even the motto of the student, you will see, whether it is from IIT or any other big organization, their motive is also to make the money. And that's why even a technocrat is going to the money-making market. A divine nature created by God has been pushed back. This life is given by God, so we should have a balanced life, but this divine nature has been pushed back, but we are proceeding towards the materialistic life. The colleges, university have assumed that filling the minds of students with higher academic contents is primary task. So I think this is very much true, that more and more informations we are pouring into the minds of our students. And we are not trying to think that whether these will be useful for the society or not. They will be good for the society or not. But the more emphasis which we are, the curriculum which we are making is on pouring the academic contents. And I would say that it is information. Even it is up to some extent, it is not the knowledge which we are giving to the students. There is a confusion between acquisition of amount of knowledge compared to effective and positive use what we know. This is also a problem, that what actually we are teaching and what we are getting from the students, there is a great difference between that. So we are trying to equip them with the knowledge, but they are not able to use that knowledge in the field. And at present, students neither turning out as good professional nor good human being. So this is the result of these regions, the regions which we have stated above. This is the result of this thing, that the students of today's life are not turning as good professional, and nor they are turning as good human being. And from that point of view, it is necessary that we should try to inculcate these values into the student. What is the impact of this? If we are not doing this in way, then what is having? It is increasing the personal evils. It is increasing the family evils. It is increasing the social levels. It is increasing the corrupt social system and lack of social and national concern. I think all of you will be agree with me that in today's situation, these things are true, that the personal, family, social evils are increasing day by day, and our system is also becoming corrupt and corrupt. And we find that there is a least national concern, and this is the reason that every day we are seeing that one and other dharna, pradarsan, jagda, etc. All over the country. Now we will come to that what we mean by the values. So values are actually the rules by which we try to decide that what is right and what is wrong. So actually this gives us a capability to differentiate between the right and wrong, what we should do and what we should not do, and what is good and what is bad. So this is the capability which is developed by the values or morals. And if these capabilities are developed within the one person, then definitely it will be very useful for the society also. So they also tell us what is more important, what is less important, which is useful when we have to trade off meaning one value over another value. So there can be this also, that we have to compare what actually we need to, or what preference we have to give when we are acting on some proposal. So if the persons or students are having the morals and values, then definitely it is making them mentally and emotionally wealthy and rich. So actually, by the values, we may not become materialistically rich, but definitely we will be emotionally and mentally rich, and we will be peaceful, and we will be contented in our life. And values are our friends also, and they bring happiness in our life. So actually, it is difficult to describe these things, but these can be experienced through oneself only. If we adopt the values, then definitely we will feel ourselves emotionally and mentally rich, and also we will feel happy in our life. And value to become self-confident and self-reliant. And this is also very much true, that if a person who is having morals and values, he will be self-confident and self-reliant also. And if we are having the values, then definitely we will always try to go closer to the God. So we will follow the godly acts, and values will develop these things within us. Values provides us dignified way of living and allows others to live. So if we have the values, then definitely we will lead a dignified way. So again, we have to differentiate between the materialistic life and dignified way of life. We can wear simply the simple clothes, not necessary that we are wearing the very good quality or good brand clothes, but if we are having the clean and simple cloth, that also gives us a dignified way of life. And if we are having the good values, then these also allows others to live their dignified life. Values makes a person confident, productive, good leader, and person with perfection. This is one of the reasons that why we want to inculcate these values into our students, because values will make them confident, make them productive, make them or give them a leadership quality, and this will make them the persons with the perfections. So what happens without the values? Without human values, selfishness and corruption is becoming part of life of individual and every system. So if we are not having the values, then these things are developing in our character, and this is affecting our society also. And because of this, this corruption system is also increasing day by day. And we all are victims of this. क्योंकि जो सिस्टम आपका सोसाइटी में है, उस सिस्टम से आप हमेशा प्रभावित होंगे. If you have not been victimized, then I can say that you are in the queue. That one on other day, you may be victimized because of the surrounding environment of our society like this. So it is a very important thing to think over, that how this system can be improved and changed. Now, what actually we expect from our students? So if our students become educated, that is educated youth, it will lead to a developed nation. Here I can say that almost 60 to 65% of the population of India is in the range of the youth range. So if such a large population of the country is in that category, and if that can be educated, then definitely that nation can be converted into a developed nation. So therefore, it is very much necessary that we must educate, and good quality of education be given to our youth. Then healthy youth. So this implies to the here also that if our youth will be healthy, then definitely our nation will be strong. So here two kinds of the health we can discuss, that they should be healthy physically and they should be healthy mentally. And if you have might have gone through the NEP mandate, then you might have find that this is one of the mandate which is given in the new education policy, that there should be an overall development of the students, so where physical mental health is also a concern. Then self-dependent youth, and this is you know that Atmanirbhar Bharat is one of the slogan of our Honorable Prime Minister, that we want to make our nation as a Atmanirbhar Bharat. So we have to actually teach the student in such a way that they become self-dependent, or if the student or the youth become self-dependent, then definitely the nation will become resourceful and it will become Atmanirbhar. So youths with values, that will be happy nation. So those who are teaching about the happiness index, then definitely they can see that these value system is also included while deciding that indexing. And unfortunately, we are not at very high rank in that happiness index, India. So that also gives the alarm that we should do something towards these values system so that our youth and our population become the good personality and character and with moral values. So we dream a developed nation, a strong nation, a resourceful nation, and all above a happy nation. And for that, along with knowledge, we need to give a good moral values also. Then values concerns to whom? So this topic is related to teachers and students. So is it related to the teachers and students only? I will say that it is not. The values concerns to all. Whether if we take the age as the criteria, then it relates to child, youth, and old persons. All category of the persons, it is related. It is related to student and teacher. Then gender also has not any biasness in there. Boy, girl, man, woman, all should have values. Financial status, rich and poor, both should have the moral and values. Official subordinates, that is order of ranking. So if officer should have, the subordinates should have good values, so the officer should also have the good values. Business, so like these, we can say that the values concerns to all category. No, there is no bar, age, gender, financial status, ranking, etc. Now we will first see what are the different personal evils. So though we have seen all these things in our previous whatever literature we see all these things, but even these have been listed out that these can be the personal evils, and we should try to avoid them, or we should try to control over them. So in the list you can see anger, because all these things, all the evils, personal evils, give loss to our personality and our peace of life, and even these affects the society also. We will discuss the social evils also. So anger and rigidity in the nature, stubborn, irresponsible, inhuman, cheating, hostile, addiction. These may be related to your drugs, etc. Dominant, then cruelty, dishonesty, partial, selfishness, discontentment, depression, proud, impatient. So there can be discussion on each and every evil, but we will not go through that one. But you can see that in this list, these things have been given here, and all these are affecting our personality, and these are affecting our life also. So we should try to find that what kind of the evil we are having and how this can be controlled. So the group of persons makes the family where we have certain relationship. So these are the family evils. Disobedient. So disobedience will be from the younger one. There will be some mukhya of the family, and there are some younger person. Though nowadays the family has become very small, micro families are there, but still these things persist there. Disobedience, then unfair. So this can be with the chief of the family also. Then disrespectful, irreverence. So this can be mutually, intolerance, being dependable, violence, victimization. Victimization in the family, we see this is particularly related to the women's, where a lot of victimization is taking place in the families. Social evils. So personal and family evils, when combined together, they give rise to the social evils. So crimes will develop into the society, corruption will develop, unlawful practices, alcoholism, drug abuse, violence. Then some of the problem which we see in our society, which are because of we individuals are not having the moral values, that is gender inequality. Still after 75 years of independence, the gender inequality persists. Dowry is also persisting, caste discrimination, and this has become, actually you can say, the tool for getting the power. Then we have religious conflicts. I have bolded it. You can see every day on the TV that these religious conflicts are giving a large amount of social levels. Domestic violence, poverty, child exploitation, because we are not able to feed the peoples properly. A large number of population is lying under the poverty lines. So there is a child exploitation. One of the reasons for that is this poverty line. Then we have female infanticides, bhroon hatya, jo hai. So all these problems which are persisting in last many decades or centuries, they are still persisting, and we are not able to improve them. And therefore, I think the apex bodies which are thinking for this kind of the course, they are right. Caste conflict, poverty, and employment. So evil makes the human as devils. So a person may not be having all the evils, but if they are having the large numbers of evils within the personality, then definitely it makes the human as a devil. Why we say Ram or why we say Ravan? So actually, the Ravan was very knowledgeable, but the list which we have taken in the previous slide, the personal evils, I think all kind of evils were there in the Ravan also. So even being very knowledgeable and very, he was worshipping the God Shiva also, but still he was having the evils. Therefore, he called as devil, that is Rakshas. So evils of a person not only harms himself, but everything he comes across, that is family, society, and the whole nation. मतलब इसका जो इम्पैक्ट है वो आप देख सकते हैं कि ये केवल पर्सनल इफेक्ट नहीं होता, बट it also affects society and nation as a whole, because how we are leading it, and all these examples we are seeing nowadays. Now we have taken the list of personal evils. Now we can see the list of personal values and morals. So honesty, truthful, trustworthiness, integrity, caring, compensate. You should be benevolent. You should be just and fair, preserving, hardworking, keeping our promises. You should be responsible and respectful. One should be courageous, cooperative, friendly, devoted, patient, emotionally stable, tolerant, cheerful, courteous, loyal, creative. So actually, as I told you in the previous slide, that why we say this Ravan as Rakshas or devil. So these are the things why we say Ram as Ram. So all these things we will find in one person, and that is why he is worshipped all over the country and beyond the country also. Now, what is actually knowledge? So if we think that we have done master's degree, we have done PhD degree, and we have obtained everything, then we are at wrong path or want wrong concept. Knowledge means that to be conscious that you are ignorant. Even after completing your PhD degree, if you say that you have urge of learning, then definitely it is the knowledge in you. So it is an attitude of learning always. And one of the graduate attribute is also lifelong learning. So this should be a quality of the teacher also, that he should keep on learning every day. Then peace. We feel more peaceful if we are not keeping ourselves busy with saying and doing the others. So this means that because this is the common nature, हम एक दूसरे की बुराई करने के अंदर हमेशा लगे रहते हैं. अगर हम ये चीज जो है छोड़ दें, तो definitely we will be having a peaceful life. Forgiveness. So if we are able to overlook the mistakes of others, then definitely we are having this quality of forgiveness. And this is a very good quality or moral value of one. Then honesty, being sincere, open, trustworthy, and truthful. This applies to the organization, teaching profession, lawyer profession, medical profession, everything. Or even in the politics also, one should have honesty. Integrity, we have discussed this thing in the previous slides, and we know that it should be a very important quality while recruiting a person. Patience, this is the quality that which gives us to face the difficult situations, and we should be tolerant, and we should tolerate inconvenience also, because it is not necessary that always we will be having the comfortable situation. In life, the situations are changing, and we can face any kind of the things. So we should be able to tolerate inconveniences, and we should be able to face the difficult situation. So that actually tests our patience. We should be enthusiastic in doing our work. Whatever task has been assigned to us or anyone, he should do it cheerfully or enthusiastically. Then family-oriented values, as we have seen the family wills, etc. also. So these are the family-oriented values. So you find in the family maternal love, paternal love, caring and sharing, cooperation, spirit of service, harmony and peace. And this gives us mutual trust, chastity, gratitude, mutual respect, tolerance, and reverence. So the family which are having these values, you can say that that family is a very peaceful family. If we again go back to our discussion, then we find that there is an individual person, the group of individuals making the society, family, and a group of families are making the society, and society is making the nation. So therefore, these should be integrated in this way so that a good nation can be developed. These are some other society-oriented values. A spirit of social responsibility. Nowadays, you find that we remain individualistic. मेरा क्या हो सकता है, मैं कैसे आगे बढ़ सकता हूँ, मेरी उन्नति कैसे हो सकती है, मैं जो शब्द है उस पे ज्यादा कंसंट्रेशन रहता है. But along with you and him or I, it should be a sense of social responsibility also that we have when we are living in a society. Then we have our responsibilities towards the society also. Spirit of service and reforms. We have already discussed the evils of the society. So we will try to reform those evils. Spirit of reverence and gratitude, spirit of respect of life in the society, consideration for rights for others. So there can be many unprivileged persons in society, like poor children's, poor families, uneducated children's, uneducated families, etc. So there can be many such problems. So we have to fight for those, the rights for them, because education is right, food is right, and this we have to work against the poverty. So we have to find that what we can do for the society. Now we will discuss some of the academic ethics and integrity for the teachers, that what the teachers are required to do for, or what they should follow for changing the or building the character and personality of the students. Commitment, first thing is the commitment to learning. And this thing I have already discussed in the previous slide also while discussing the knowledge. So here also we should have a spirit of doing and experimenting new things and face the challenging questions. We have to answer the questions of the students. The students may have many queries because they might not be knowing what we know. So actually here we want to say that on everyday basis, what is changing in the knowledge sphere, we should try to go through that, and we should get that knowledge, and we should try to transfer it to our student. Act as mentor or guide for the students. Why we are talking or discussing these things? Because the role of teacher is not simply to go into a class and give a lecture for 1 hour and come and sit in his room, right? He or she has many responsibilities, and it is the overall, these are the things which makes the overall duties of a teacher. So that's why these points we are discussing. So he should try to act as a mentor or guide for the students, not only for academic problems, but also for personal problems. So you might be knowing that in universities and colleges, the mentors are appointed on a group of 15 or 20 students, so that he or she can take care of that group, and he can help in their studies, and also to their some personal problems which are possible to solve for them. Teacher must demonstrate personal, family, and social value. So all these things we have discussed in our previous slides. So we should try to demonstrate those values also. How the students will learn? They will see some ideal person, or they will make some image, and for the teachers also, student makes the image as a good teacher or a normal teacher, etc. I am not taking the term as a bad teacher, the normal teacher or the good teacher. So we should try to prove ourselves as a good teacher. And there is no, you can say, guidelines for this, that if we will do this and this, then we will become. Whatever we are practicing in our life and we are demonstrating in our day-to-day life, that is actually observed by not only student, the society is also observing our way of life and character and etc. everything, and that image is actually main in the minds of others. So therefore we should try to make a good image in the minds of the students, and so that they can consider you as a role model. So teacher must demonstrate personal, family and social values and become as a role model for the students. Teacher must clarify course objective and learning outcomes through the course he is teaching. So this is the very important aspect when we are starting any course. And this is the requirement for your NBA, NAC, etc. also, that how we are teaching and whether it is giving some outcomes also or not. Actually, as I told you that it is not simply that we go and give lecture, but the student must try to learn, and that should be a measurable outcome also. Teacher must be fair with students without any distinction, class, caste, and creed. Above, you may say that why we have taken this point, but this is a human nature that we make biasness. But as a teacher, we should not be biased to anybody on the basis of class, caste, creed, or any closeness, etc. He/she must adopt a fair policy of assessment. He/she should be impartial, sincere, consistent, without any prejudice. The word prejudice is important here. There may be a different behavior of a student in the class, and there may be different reasons behind that also. So we should not become prejudiced for that. ये तो बहुत बदमाश स्टूडेंट है, ये बहुत गंदा स्टूडेंट है, ये तो इस तरह का है. These kinds of the prejudices are made towards the students, and particularly while we are making the assessment of the student, then at that time we should be very fair to the student, and no prejudice should come into the picture while making the assessment. So what knowledge they are gaining, that should be fairly assessed. Guide and motivate students so that they do not involve in academic dishonesty. What is this academic dishonesty? That while giving the examination, they are using unfair practices. Even in the routine session, suppose you are giving some assignments, the students are copying them and submitting them. Or let us suppose some project is given or some dissertation is given. So instead of doing that fairly, they are trying to get the things from here and there and trying to compile them, and they are submitting. So actually, we should make emphasis, or we should make effort that they remain away from these academic dishonesty, because then only these students will be. Otherwise, they will be getting simply marks and degrees. They will not get the knowledge. Also prevent herself from involving in academic dishonesty. So it is not only for the students, but it is also for the teachers also, that they should also remain away from the academic dishonesty. I will not elaborate on this. These particularly relate to the while you are guiding some dissertations at the post-graduation level, or you are guiding some thesis at the PhD level, or even at the graduation levels also, there can be some academic dishonesty. So teachers should also try to avoid to involve in this academic dishonesty. He/she must become a responsible teacher and remain away from harassment of a student on the basis of racism, gender, and actually all teachers might experience these things. I have seen many teachers, those who make an image that this student is not good, and they try to harass on various grounds. So actually there are many other things through which the punishment can be given, but on the personal biasness, there should not be any harassment of the students. Teacher must follow the academic ethics while discharging duties as research guide. So this is what we have already discussed. In the previous point, I wanted to point one again that अगर किसी स्टूडेंट ने आपको जैसे रेस्पेक्ट नहीं किया, आपको जो है विश नहीं किया, तो या कुछ आपको थोड़ा सा इधर उधर उसने बोल दिया या इग्नोर कर दिया, तो टीचर कई बार ऐसा करते हैं कि उससे बदला लेने की कोशिश करते हैं. And that revenge comes in the form of failing the students in sessional, etc., even in theory examinations also. So I want to say that these kinds of the things or the nature should be avoided. Teachers in India has important responsibility of helping to mold the character of students. So this is the objective of this lecture, that they should make a motto that they will be building a good character and good human being, the students. Teachers who help students must learn to listen to the specific comment they are making. So we should be good listeners also and try to listen the things patiently, and we must try to give the answers to them also. These comments may be on the academics and they may be out of the academics also on some problem, etc. So we should always try to welcome their comments and try to satisfy their queries. This assistance will help to determine the type of value system that guides their behaviors. Students who are listless and apathetic should become more purposeful and self-directed after being trained in value education. So this impact will be resulted, or we can say that this will be the outcome of this kind of the training, that how the students will learn. Every teacher should aspire to strengthen students' mind, fortify their hearts, vitalize their thoughts, and help them crystallize their principles. So these are the general things we should try to. Actually, you will see that as many things we will study or we will read, we will find that more and more responsibilities of teachers, that what we should do. And but it is also possible that in our career, as we grow, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, so these things comes automatically. Then we need not to practice that I have to do this for, I have to fortify the hearts of the students or vitalize their thoughts. So it automatically comes in our nature as we grow up. But it is necessary that right from beginning from our career, we should try to adopt these things. Teacher must help students clarify their values so that they can make wise choices and face confusing options. Institutes must become the training grounds for students to become better adjusted, tolerant, and neighborly citizens. They should also backed up by professional guidance and counseling. So along with the teachers, this is the responsibility of the institutions also. Now, as we have seen the impact of evils, so this is the impact of values. A good human being. This will make the person as a good human being. If we are doing it on the students, then they will make the students as good human beings. And this will turn the happy families, happy society, and ultimately it will lead to a divinity. यानी कि हम देवत्व की तरफ जो है बढ़ने का प्रयास करेंगे. ऐसा नहीं हो सकता, लेकिन कम से कम हम अच्छे ह्यूमन बीइंग बनने का तो प्रयास करना ही चाहिए आपको. So what we have to do? We have to make values part of our life. We have to be having a positive attitude, and we should be self-dominant. And if we adopt these things, and or if we inculcate these things in our student, then definitely there will be a efficient and good graduate we will be producing. Now there are, I think the main part of the lecture is over. We are now some lessons of the life. So this is the best opportunity which is given by God. We should take all benefits from it. Life is a beautiful life. We should try to admire it. Life is a challenge. We have to accept it. Life is a duty. We have to complete it. Life is a game. We have to play it. Life is a promise. We have to fulfill it. Life is a struggle. We have to face it. Life is an adventure. We have to dare it. Life is too precious. Don't destroy it. Don't waste it. Life is life. Fight for it. Anyway, now while practicing these values, there may be many things can happen to you. People are often unreasonable, illogical, and self-centered. What we have to do? We have to forgive them. If we are really practicing the values. If you are kind, people will accuse you of selfish personal motive. So, if you are kind to the persons, students, etc., or in the society, you can be accused of these things, that you are selfish, you are having some personal motives. So still you have to continue to be kind and continue this. If you are successful, definitely we have discussed these things, that if we practice the values and morals in our life, we become peaceful, we become self-confident, we self-reliant also. And the success is also measured in these terms also. So you will win some false friend and true enemies. So it is possible that if you become successful, this thing can happen. But we have to succeed anyway. We have to, if we are right, we have to proceed on the way we are following. If you are honest and frank, people may cheat you. It is possible. Because if you are honest, then people will try to take benefit from you otherwise. But sometimes you may be cheated, but still you have to be honest and frank. You spend, this is very important thing, and you will find many such examples for this, that you build your character and your personality in years, but a single point or someone may destroy overnight this thing. We can take the example of a white paper, and if a black dot is made on that, then you can see that white paper has taken a lot of efforts and time for building that. But a single black dot is only observed and it can destroy the image. But still, we must try to keep on building our image. If you feel yourself peaceful and happy, people may be jealous to us. ये भी एक प्रॉब्लम है कि हम खुश क्यों हैं, हम जो है आराम से क्यों रह रहे हैं, पीसफुली क्यों रहते हैं, मुस्कुरा के क्यों रहते हैं, बट we have to be happy anyway. The good you do today, people will often forget tomorrow. This is very right. Let us suppose that you have some persons, you help your student, but he forgets it, or she forgets it. But we should not be discouraged by this. If we are doing good, we should do good. Now, in our life, which is the best day? So it is the today is the best day, because what you can do today, that will never, it will be again changing. So we must consider that today is the best day, and I should make all efforts to make a happy day. Best thing to do to begin is this may be personal experience also, that if we are given some task or we are having some problem to solve, then the beginning is a hard thing. But if we overcome that, then that task can be completed. Well begin, half done. This is the proverb we are learning or hearing. The greatest hardship, fear, again, so to the same one, that in beginning or we are fearing of doing these things. Easiest thing to do, finding the faults. This is a common thing, everyone experience this. किसी को प्रेज करना बहुत मुश्किल है, but to find the faults of others is very, very easy. Most useless asset, this is the pride. We got something and we are making pride of that. So we have to leave that. Most useful asset, this is the humility. Humility towards the society, persons. Greatest mistake, that is giving up. So to begin to fear and again to giving up. So we have to actually face the problems. We have to face the challenges, difficult situations. The greatest stumbling block, that is egoism. The greatest comfort, this might have also been experienced by most of you, that when you complete any task, you feel yourself very comfortable. So work well done always gives us comfort. Most disagreeable person, the person who is always complaining, is the most disagreeable. So we should not be always complaining persons. Worst bankruptcy. So this is actually, if we lose the enthusiasm to do any task, do any work. So one should be enthusiastic in doing the work. Greatest need, that is the common sense. So we cannot always go by book writing. We have to sense the things, and we have to use our mind, that how the things can be solved. So common sense is the greatest need. Meanest feeling, this is regret at the another's success. Then best gift is the forgiveness. The greatest knowledge is the experience, which we gain through keeping, reading, making experiments, etc. And once the thing done by ourselves, it always make asset, and it is useful for others also. The greatest thing in the world is love. The greatest success in the world is the peace of mind. agar hum again we go to the materialistic things, then we will find that these things will not give you love, these things will not give you peace of mind, these things will not give you the forgiveness, etc. So we can get these things only through the moral values. What it leads, we have to become professionally sound, or we have to make our students professionally sound. We have to become emotionally strong, or we have to make our students emotionally strong. Love your life and be happy and successful. So if we follow these things, we will be happy and successful in our life. Now, some quotes or messages have been collected here. You can see these two pictures. If we add skill gradually, here 1% daily, it has been quoted here. After 1 year, you can see that you can full of jars. So your life will be full of skills. So this kind of the spirit, actually, we should try to develop in our student, that they should make effort for getting skills every day. You see that these things we have already discussed in previous slides also. Here it has been shown that what if, what can I do, should I? So when we are thinking these, it appears to be very heavy load. Overthinking ends up becoming a heavy baggage. अगर हम यही सोचते रहेंगे तो it appears that it is a very heavy thing, but it can be thought in other way also. So your problem will become very smaller. So this is what here it is shown. We have to move step by step. We have to move brick by brick. We have to move drop by drop. So if we do this, then definitely your bucket will be full of treasure. It can be knowledge. It can be any other thing. When we are thinking to solve any problem or task, we are taking any task. So before we start, it appears very heavy task as it is shown here. But if we decide immediately that I have to perform this task, then you can see that how comparatively it is very becoming very small also. And after doing, you are very happy. In thinking about doing something. So you can see graphically that we think more and do less. So here you can see that the time which is required, really it is very small as compared with think. So we have to change our thinking process. Sometimes we think that the problem is very big. We imagine, our imagination is like that it is a very big problem. It can drown in the sea, but really it is only a sport. We have to jump and clear the problem. So here you can see that one or two failure do not make the failure. We have to keep in trying, and we can become successful. So failures will come because it is not possible that every time we will get the success. There can be failure also, but if we keep on trying, making true efforts, then definitely we will be getting the success. So thank you all for giving patience, attention to these slides and words. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Dear participants, we still have 5-10 minutes with us. If there are any questions, you could directly ask to sir, or you can post in the chat box. If there are any queries, please go ahead. You can unmute yourself and ask question to sir. Or you can also post in the chat box and I will read out for you.
Greetings, sir. I'm Dr. Srilata Dhaka. Can I ask a question, sir?
Yes, yes. I
Thank
will
you, sir.
answer.
Thank you, sir. Sir, as we are just discussing some of the terms like values, ethics, morality. Okay, my point is that is the morality and values means the same, or they can be slightly differentiated? As see, the point is coming to my mind that see, value synonymous importance also. So see, at a point of time, a person gives importance to a particular aspect in his or her life, but at the same time, the person is moralistic also.
Yeah.
So are they same, or if we are talking of the values here, so we are considering the human values?
No, madam,
Right.
my answer as I understand this thing, that values are actually what we have described here, that the good things of any character or personality, and practicing these things is the moral. So values are on one side. We are reading these values. We are studying, we are reading, going through the Gita. We are studying the other holy books, etc. also. If we keep up to that only reading, then there is nothing that those values are kept in on those books only. But if we are practicing all these things, then definitely we are following the morals. So it is actually moral, bearing the moral means that we are following the values which we have already discussed in different aspects.
Okay, fine, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, dear faculty members, is there any other question on your side?
So moral practices can be implemented in the childhood only. You know how the people will suddenly change when we are saying in the college level or university level. We can insist, but it should be.
Voice is not clear.
Voice is not clear.
Ma'am, could you please repeat your question and could you be a bit louder so that sir could hear your question properly?
Hear me now? Can you hear me? Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Actually, this moral characters that should be implemented in the childhood stage only. You know, whenever they are coming to college, it's very difficult to mend them in our way. Even though we are repeating it, it's up to the students to change. It's very difficult for them to change. Isn't it, sir? So how do we overcome that? These, whatever the characters, if it is implemented or imbibed in the childhood, it is easy to mend. But how do we do it in the college level? We can say to them, we can say them, but the student may not be in a position to change their character. How do we do it?
What I could understand, simply by reading these things, it will not come into the picture. So actually, when we introduced this human value as a subject, it was taught theoretically as well as some practicals also were introduced in that. So in practicals, actually, the student has to go to the real kind of the sites. Let us suppose you have to show at the hospitals. So if they go to the hospitals, then definitely they will see the patients and how they are feeling and how they can help them. So this kind of the interaction actually, when done actual basis, then only these kind of the things can set in their minds. Similarly, let us say that they are going to some small bastis where poor children are there. They are not able to go to the schools, etc., or even they are not getting the proper food, etc. So the students can try to teach them. So when they will be doing this kind of the things, so it will automatically will come into their character and they will realize these things. So from the simply by readings and passing the examination, it is not possible. The students should be motivated to face the real things, what we are listing out, or we are telling about the values, anger, sympathy, etc. So we should create those situations and or we should put them in those situations and try to face those so that they can learn that how the evils can be controlled.
Thank you.
This is other way around also, that if we can control the evils, then definitely it will develop the values of in ourselves.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Is there any other question from the participant side? You can unmute yourself and you can ask your question directly to Professor N.P. Kaushik sir. Okay, I think, sir, there are no more questions to take, and I am really thankful to you for taking out your valuable time, and very elaborately you have explained us the meaning of value, ethics, and integrity in the life of a person. You have really taught us how to remain positive and how to face the difficult circumstances in life. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your enlightening session. Thank you. We feel inspired after your session, and we would definitely like to imbibe all these things in our daily life. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mukeshji, and all faculty members.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
So I can leave now?
Yes, sir, you can. So, thank you to all the faculty members also for joining this session. We will now be meeting again at 1:30 p.m. and in the next session we have Professor H.D. Charan sir, who would be discussing about the role of education in holistic development. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, one and all. We are calling off this session. We'll be meeting again at 1:30 p.m. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.